Utah Attorney General Mark Shurtleff is being praised for helping to go after polygamist leader Warren Jeffs.
But some say that he needs to do more. Fox 13's Max Roth in Salt Lake City with the latest. Hi, Max.
Hello, Carrie. Yeah, one group that does say he needs to do more is a group called the Tapestry Against Polygamy, a vocal group made up largely of women who have escaped the polygamous lifestyle and advocate for women and children who remain in the polygamous lifestyle. They think that it's the right thing to go after Warren Jeffs, but they say that along with that high-profile case, they want to see Mark Shurtleff approach some other cases, and they presented 3 of them yesterday. We've heard one of those stories from Rachel Strong, who says she was forced into a plural marriage. Now we're going to hear a little bit from a man named Robbie Sweeten, and let me just tell you who he is. He had a relationship with a woman named Amy Swap, he says. She is, you may recall, the Singer Swap polygamous group, and he says that she was the eldest daughter of Adam Swap, the man who was one of the patriarchs of that group and is currently in prison, I believe. Anyway, he had a relationship with her, they had a daughter, and then he says she went back to the polygamous lifestyle, and he doesn't want his 4-year-old daughter to be living in that lifestyle. Here's Robbie Sweeten.
Polygamy and the fundamental LDS teachings have been deemed harmful to children. How far does a father have to go to protect his child? I ask all the leaders of this great state, the religious, the political, and the educational, to stand up and take the initiative for what has become the equivalent of a black eye to this state's image.
Of course we wish we could do more. We know that there are victims out there. We do want to help, and we are doing everything we can to help. At the same time, we can't do everything. We wish we could. We wish we could solve every problem there is.
So the question is, how much is enough? In a case like Robbie Sweeten's, it's a custody case, and he wants to have some standing in a court to say that because his daughter's living with a polygamous family, or has joint custody with a polygamous family, that she shouldn't be forced to grow up partly in that lifestyle. Should he have grounds to say something like that? That's a question that they're bringing up and would be a new thing for the Attorney General to prosecute. They say that's really not within the bounds of what they have the resources to go after right now, even though they sympathize. Now, we want to hear from our viewers. We have gotten some email, and unfortunately, I've gone a little too long, so we'll get to some of that in the next half an hour. We want to hear more from our viewers as well. How much is enough? AM email at fox13.com. AM email at fox13.com. We'll see you guys in a half an hour.
All right. Thanks a lot, Max.
An Arizona prosecutor. Utah Attorney General Mark Shurtleff is being praised for helping to go after polygamist leader Warren Jeffs.
But some say that he needs to do more. Fox 13's Max Roth in Salt Lake City this morning with the latest, and we are getting some interesting feedback, Max.
Yeah, you know what? In fact, I'm going to let you get to that really quickly because it sounds like it's very interesting, the email that we've gotten. But first, just to fill people in, an anti-polygamous group, Tapestry Against Polygamy, held a press conference yesterday. They want the Attorney General to take up some more cases. One of them is the case of Rachel Strong, and here's how she described her situation, being forced, as she says, into a polygamous relationship.
I absolutely did not want to marry James Harmson. He was in his 60s. He had played the role of my stepfather while growing up, but he had convinced me that my salvation and my daughter's salvation was in jeopardy. So I had no other option but to become his 17th wife. After the marriage, he placed me in a home with 3 of his youngest wives. While married to the prophet, he had a special room in the basement where twice a week he would have sex with one of the wives and insisted we all take birth controls.
That's Rachel Strong. Another person who spoke yesterday is a man named Robbie Sweeten. We heard from him last time I came and talked with you, and I understand that Robbie Sweeten's mother, is that correct? Has she emailed in to us?
That is correct. You can imagine what her opinion might be, but let me read this to you right now. This is from Barbara Moore, the mother of Robbie Sweeten. She says, "My granddaughter's at risk of being raised in one of these communities now." And she says, "When you mention polygamy, I don't think that the general public realizes the depth of what that means. They just think of plural marriages, but there's so much more involved. Children raised in these communities often live a life of statutory rape, incest, denial of public education, child slave labor, arranged marriage, medical neglect, poverty, secrecy, and isolation. And then there's another, she wrote several paragraphs. We don't have time to read the whole thing, but she says, yes, I agree that the Utah Attorney General's office is doing more than has been done in the past, but it's still not enough. One of the purposes of the press conference yesterday was to bring awareness to the growing problem and also to raise funds for Tapestry against polygamy. Somehow the press didn't pick up on that. Please ask your viewers to support the organization. And then she says that our state has a terrible reputation because of these people and the fact that Utah has done little to nothing in the past.
And we should let our viewers know who didn't see the last time I was on. Robbie Sweeten has a 4-year-old daughter with a woman who comes from the Singer-Swap Morrison clan. And he says that when they had the daughter, she didn't want to be, she did not believe in those teachings of polygamy, but then she went into that later on, and they have joint custody of this daughter, and right now both are fighting for complete custody of this daughter, and he says that it would be abusive to send her into that relationship. That's really interesting. I understand we have some more email, and if anyone else wants to reply, amemail@fox13.com, and we'll be back in a half an hour with some more.
All right, thanks a lot, Max.
A Canadian boy is killed in